My name is Neil Ticktin. I'm the editor-in-chief and publisher of MacTech Magazine. We're here this week in San Francisco. TUAW and MacTech together are doing interviews of developers during Worldwide Developer Conference 2012, getting feedback about the keynote, the announcements that Apple made, how they impact them, and also to find out what they have going on. Sitting with us now is Tim DeBenedictis from Southern Stars, and good friend of the magazine and whatnot. I'm glad to have you here, and
Sure.
Thanks for taking the time to do it. Let's start off with what Southern Stars has been doing over the last year since we last did an interview like this.
Sure. Well, in general, it's really been a pretty good year for us. We've grown a lot, particularly on the iOS platform.
Right.
But we're also now on the Mac App Store
Right.
and on Android,
Right.
Which were two challenging things for
Exactly.
different reasons. But they were definitely great things to have taken on. One of the things that's the most surprising to me about the sales that we see of our products is that we see far more revenue at the high end than the low end.
Yeah.
We have three tiers of our product. We've got a pro version for $40, an intermediate version for $15, and a beginner version for $3.
Right.
And we make twice as much money on the pro end than the $3 end.
Yeah, but a lot of times people don't realize that when you come down to the low dollar amount, you either have to move in a massive amount of volume on it, or more likely those products are going to have less features in them. And these are Mac people or Apple people, right? And they tend to want quality and substance on it. So I don't know that that's terribly surprising to me. I'm glad to see that that's
Sure.
the case, because I think it's a better model for developers to be able to deliver really great products out there. But it's not terribly surprising to me, given the heritage of the community.
It surprised me the degree to which that turned out to be true.
Yeah,
It's surprising.
okay. Even better.
I mean, people, especially in the Android world, people tell us you have a $40 Android app. That's crazy. No one will buy that.
Yeah.
We've actually sold in actual units 80% as many for our $40 Android app as our $3 Android app.
So do people generally, are you able to track things well enough to know whether they start off at the low end and then kind of bump up later on?
It's difficult to do sale by sale, but when we do have promotions, like for example, sometimes we'll make our $3 app free for a couple of days.
Right.
Then we'll put out a push notification saying, hey, the sale's going to be over in a day. We see a big spike in pro sales.
Right.
So these are things
Some
that
correlation that's going on there.
Yeah, there's definitely some upgrades.
So releases? Have you done some new releases in here? You did one not too long ago.
Yeah, we had a fairly major release designed to showcase the ability not just to view the sky, the stars from Earth, but also from space, which is a dimension that, look, everyone's dream is to fly in space.
Right.
It's hard to do.
Right.
It's a little pricey.
Yeah.
And you can do it on your iPad now with Sky Safari Plus and Pro.
That's really cool.
It's just really something that captures people's imaginations.
Yeah.
And we're very happy to have gotten it out there.
Awesome. Keynote. So,
Neil,
okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Everybody, if I ask the question, what was your favorite part of the keynote? Everybody says, MacBook Pro with Retina display. Okay, so the easy answer's out of the way.
Sure.
What else did you like? I mean, did you like the Retina display?
I can't argue with the Retina display.
Okay.
It is fantastic.
Okay.
Neil, I would actually like to tell you what my favorite part of the keynote was, but I wasn't there. I was one of those lucky developers who got Apple's, hey, there's going to be a developer conference email at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then by the time I woke up, tickets were sold out.
Yeah.
This is a little bit of a challenge that we've had with Apple's development process. We've had, some pretty frustrating experiences with app review. And I would say this is the one and only area where Android's developer experience is better than Apple's. Is the fact that there is no long delay. If we find a bug in our app, we can get an update out there in an hour. Right? With Apple, it's just not that way.
If you're lucky, it's a week.
If you're lucky, it's a week, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't really see that this is really making our lives or the customers' lives really that much better. Yeah. I get it. You want to prevent, viruses from getting out there. You want to prevent crashware from getting out there. But the sort of editorial control that Apple's trying to exert is, I don't really think, doing Apple itself a favor in the long run.
It's the review process is definitely tough. It's something that a lot of people have had. There's some products that can't even go into the Mac App Store or iOS Store, for that matter.
Sure.
For a variety of reasons. And I know that they've got a lot on their plate, and they're looking at a lot of stuff. And I know from the experience of MacTech, where we get you should test to see if this works because it doesn't work, and then the next paragraph talks about something, shows me a screenshot of where it works. So
exactly.
It's like that kind of stuff.
Sure. I mean,
what was going on.
I'm in this. We're in the same boat. I mean, I remember the issue with sandboxing. I mean, Apple required all of us to sandbox our Mac apps. So, we submitted a sandboxed version of Sky Safari for the Mac, and we were rejected because the second bullet point in our list of what's new was implement sandboxing as required by Apple. What? I mean, you don't want us to say that we sandboxed it? Okay, well, we took it out, and then they took it back.
Okay.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But,
well, I think a lot of it is that whatever their expectations are, they're not communicating them well enough so that for us to meet them.
Sure.
And obviously with this number of apps that's going through, it's a tough thing for them to do, and I get that. And so.
Sure. Communication could be better.
So so that all aside, so you heard about the announcements that are there. Is there anything that really
actually, the one that we've been looking at is the use of Siri for third-party applications.
Okay.
I mean, our application is meant to be used outdoors at night, where it's hard to see what you're doing. If you can say, "Go to Mars," that's a big win.
Right.
We can't quite do that yet.
Yeah, no, that would be really, really cool. I mean, Siri just working better overall would be awesome. It's an awesome concept, and in the right situation, you can see it works really, really well. And, but there's so many times that I find myself. Saying, dial, and then listing out the number because I could get that to work accurately, but I couldn't get the name to work well.
Sure.
And some of it is just, I talk fast and everything else, but I don't care. I just want it to work. So
Neil, you got a lot to say.
I know. I have a lot to say.
Fair enough.
So what else we have going on?
Well, we have decided to take a somewhat different approach to product promotion later in the year. We've decided to sort of get above the fray in
do something
a literal sense.
And I should just say for our audience here, when I say what else you have going on, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek in here, knowing what that we have going on. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so we're going to launch a satellite. And
very cool.
It's called SkyCube. Details are on skycube.org.
Yep.
And this will be the first satellite that you can interact with from your mobile phone. You'll be able to request pictures from it. You'll be able to rebroadcast messages to it. It's really, in fact, there's a lot of overlap with modern mobile technology here. I mean, the reason you can send up these tiny little CubeSats, which are literally this big, is because the mobile communications industry has been working on making very, very low power,
very small, very compact, very, very robust kind of solution.
Exactly. And now, with the growth of social media and the internet, the infrastructure is really there to provide the kind of communication we need. So SpaceX is our launch provider. We're excited. We're really excited to see them have launched the Dragon and successfully recover it after their space station docking. SpaceX is actually our launch provider. Q1 2013 is the current estimated launch date.
Cool.
And we're really looking forward to seeing this all happen.
Cool. Yeah, and obviously, we're really excited about it too. And for our viewers out there, MacTech is one of the initial sponsors of this, and there's going to be many more sponsors coming in. There's going to be an opportunity for individuals and people to get involved in it. So it's going to be really, really cool for people to see what's going on and really take ownership of it. So we'll be telling you more about that as time comes on in here. So Tim, as always, awesome to have you here. I'm really glad to see all these things going on and things growing well, and really excited, obviously, about SkyCube and what that's going to bring. My name's Neil Ticktin. This is the TUIW MacTech Magazine interviews at WWDC 2012 in San Francisco. Thanks for watching.